the lesson.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned Kim Dezen.
Yeah. Huge influence on me, man.
Yeah, now I remember those 4 turntable routines, watching them at gigs, and I just thought, wow, that's the illest shit. And since then, as far as Adelaide goes,
we
haven't really seen it since. And I didn't really see it with anyone else at that point in time. It was just you two doing it. And it looked very just improv, freestyle.
It was. We didn't plan any of it. So none of that was planned. And sometimes it worked better than others, and you know what I mean? Sometimes it would just flow and it would work and it would be sick, and then sometimes we'd really push it, you know what I mean? But we'd just have a laugh and throw the next record on, you know what I mean? It was all about if it was working at the time. And that was what was brilliant about him. And man, that was probably, it's a big call, but I'm going to probably say that was some of my fondest memories of DJing ever, would be 4 deck sets with Kim in those, you know, leading up. I think it was before Craze we did them, before, you know, those Vocal Lords gigs and things like that, or we did them before, you know, international acts. Man, they were fun. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I used to sneak like to the front as close as I could and just try to figure out what the fuck y'all were doing.
Kim would be the illest drummer. You know, we worked out that basically I don't have his rhythm, man. And he'd have that bonesy kind of, you know what I mean, that chop, you know, and he'd have the illest drums. So, and he'd just start off drumming, and then I'm like, all right, I'm just going to be like lead guitar over the top, you know what I mean? I'm just going to do something over the top. When we'd always have an exit ready before. So we'd be like, all right, you go in from this into this, start drumming. This is our bailout record, ready, primed on this deck over here. You know what I mean? So if all goes pear-shaped, we just push play. You know what I mean? Yeah, and we'll milk it and see how far we could go with it. You know? Good fun, man.
Yeah, that was a big influence on me watching that shit.
Yeah, that was.
And there was a lot of them. There was a stage where
we did heaps of them after a while. We kept on doing them over and over and over again. Yeah.
And then, so did you guys ever battle head to head in ITF format?
Not really. Kim, there was a couple of DMCs in which Kim, that was like the early ones where he beat me basically. So 99 and 2000 DMCs Adelaide. Kim won them, and I got second and third, that type of thing. That was when he was definitely had a higher skill level than what I could achieve. And I think his 2000 DMC set, one of the illest. Still to this day, man. I love that set of his.
Is it on YouTube?
There is actually a bit of practice. I think Ashley Kilo, he put up a little snippet up on his Facebook or on YouTube not long ago of him just practicing a couple of bits. I think there might be some snippets of him up of doing some of those juggles and some of that set. It's the best, man. If you ever get a chance, it's not very good footage out there, but if you get a chance to catch it, 2000 DMCs, Kim Dezen, he took it right up to Dexter, man.
And Dexter ended up coming second to Craze in the World.
Yeah, word. Exactly. That's the level that shit was going at, you know, which was crazy, man. That's crazy.
I was talking to Samurai popped through.
Yeah.
And we were talking about all the DMCs and ITF stuff. Now, one thing that he said was he kind of felt like in the peak of all that DJ battle stuff, he was a bit isolated from, you know, the rest of the people that would compete. I mean, do you remember that being?
Yeah, I do. The DJs were dicks, man. We all hated it. Like, man, it was all ego. As much as you say this now, as like looking back at it, there was very few dudes that were full on, mate. Like, we all wanted to beat each other, man. Like, it was all, that's a 6 set, but you wanted to beat him. You know what I mean? And everyone was out to kill everyone. And, you know, I know that, you know, Samurai and the Victorian dudes and Jay and that, they had some beef and shit. So, you know what I mean? And I seen Samurai's interview with you, man. Humble dude. Yeah. How he took a shit on the whole scene? No, you didn't. But yeah, whatever. It was just because everyone wanted to kill everyone else. You know what I mean? It was a very competitive thing, man. Full-on competitive thing. And it was kind of good getting away from that as well, and just DJing, you know what I mean? With the crew stuff, you didn't get that as much. And you know, with when we're DJing with Kim, you know what I mean? Like those gigs, that was just about records, man, and hip hop. You know, that wasn't about trying to beat one another. You know what I mean? That was just about trying to, you know, put on the dope set. Simple as that. Yeah.
So there was like a Melbourne Sydney thing.
Yeah, man. Like there was always kind of rivalry. It was healthy rivalry, man. You know, I got a lot of respect for those Melbourne dudes as well, like Jay and, you know, Select and those dudes. They were so skillful as well back then. And Kuya and that as well. Everyone was pretty chill, you know, and Kilo and that. Those dudes, you know, they put me on over there as well. You know what I mean? And, you know, they were very much entrenched in the hip hop scenes over there as well. You know, and that was cool. You know, I never had any kind of issues with really any of them in terms of like
so SA never really got sucked into.
Not really, man. I don't think so. You know, me and someone never really saw eye to eye. You know, but nothing like, you know, we're spitting chips at each other or anything. You know.
Yeah, it's just DJ shit.
It's just DJ shit. Simple as that, man. It's easy to say that now. When you're in the moment, it's a bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I remember like, you know, just being a spectator of the whole DJ culture, at least here in Adelaide, in that time. And I just remember thinking and feeling like, man, that just looks like a very competitive and intense environment to be amongst. And if you don't cut, you know, if your skills don't cut the mustard, you're fucking out of there. And everyone will let you know next.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of politics bullshit as well, man. Politics filtered throughout everything. You know what I mean? That's hip hop, man, and it's through hip hop, has been through hip hop, as well as DJing the turntables aside. You know, hey, I think it was when I won the DMCs, my prize mixer got pinched from the actual DMCs.
Oh,
so
wow!
I won the Technics mixer, and that went walkabout that night. And it wasn't until a day or so later that it reappeared. I'm not going to delve into that one any much more, but yeah, you know what I mean? Politics was rife, man.
And you found out who took it though?
Oh, yeah.
Was there any repercussions for...
Shit was said, shit was done. I got my mixer back, it's all good.
And
you know what I mean? Yeah, you know.
Yeah, man, who the fuck steals the prize?
But that was it, man. You know, shit went missing all the time, man, back then, you know.
The lesson. 927. Oh, yeah.